And good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Brandon Marshall here back with you. And just issued, we have a tornado warning. This is in effect for Delaware, Jones, and Lynn County. This is in effect now until 7:15, and you can see the storm is right around the central city area, and this is moving to about the east northeast. And I don't believe we have a confirmed tornado on the ground.
We do not.
Okay.
We just have just radar indicated as what the Weather Service is looking at.
Okay, so just a radar indicated tornadic thunderstorm right now. That doesn't mean it's any less of a significant storm. It certainly is a significant storm. It could put down a tornado, but nothing confirmed. But we are picking up some rotation. You can see here the storm will be near Prairieburg, also Castle Grove, Monticello. You are in the path, as well as Spring Hole, Cascade, and Ozark around 7:34. The storm continues to track to the north and the east. Again, a very dangerous storm, a tornado warned storm, and you can see it is right in northern Lynn County around Central City and continues to move to the northeast. Delaware and Jones County also in the path of the storm. And we're going to zoom in here and you can see the core of the storm is right around the Central City area back towards the northeast around Prairieburg, where you see these darker colors putting down some really torrential rains. Also wind gust of around 60, maybe even 70 miles per hour, and certainly can't discount some hail within this storm. But it is a tornado warned storm in effect until about 7:15.
And we should go over to Max 2 if we can here, and you can definitely see the rotation on our other radar product that we have. If they can. There we go.
Yep.
So just to the southwest of Central City is where we're kind of looking at that.
Yeah, you can see the rotation here, kind of a little tight rotation just to the south and west of Central City, and it's going to be moving, if not over Central City, pretty darn close here within the next couple minutes. The storm does continue to track to the north and the east. Again, we don't have any confirmation. And we're just getting word they are evacuating the Lynn County Fairgrounds in Central City. Here is our new scan, and you can see it's pretty tight rotation there, pretty evident of a possible tornado here within this storm, within the circulation. It is a pretty tight couplet that we are seeing right around the Central City area. And again, it is the first day of the Lynn County Fair, so we are getting word they are evacuating the fairgrounds as we speak, as this tornado is pretty much almost over the top of Central City.
And Brandon, I do want to note that we are seeing some pretty good signs there of possibly a tornado being produced. Sirens are going to be going off across the entirety of Lynn County. So Cedar Rapids, this is to the north of you. This does not include the city of Cedar Rapids, but it is the northern part of the county. So you are hearing the sirens go off. This is for Central City, where the concern is right now.
Okay, yeah, but you can see here the couplet. Again, the tightest rotation we're seeing is right around Central City, and this is moving to the north and to the east. Again, we have a tornado warning. This also covers Jones and Delaware County, I believe, too.
Correct.
And this is until about 7:15. This tornado warned storm. So if you live in Central City or you live back towards Prairieburg or any points north and east of this storm, you are directly in the path of this very strong storm. Again, we don't have anything confirmed on the ground, but that doesn't mean the storm isn't a dangerous one. It certainly could put down a tornado. And here is our latest velocity scan. And again, this is a pretty tight rotation. So this thunderstorm, very capable of putting down a tornado. And these things have just exploded in about the last 30 to 45 minutes. Really, there was nothing on the radar around then. So the instability that we get during the day here, and with all the moisture in the atmosphere, these thunderstorms, once they get going, they really take off. So you can certainly expect some torrential rain with this storm, some hail, and certainly winds around 60, maybe 70 mile per hour wind gust associated with this storm. But the couplet, the rotation, is directly over Central City right now. So you need to be taking
Brandon,
cover. Yes.
We are seeing Central City Fire is confirming multiple funnel clouds on the ground south of Central City.
Okay, so multiple funnel cloud. Are they on the ground? Or?
They're saying on the ground.
Okay.
So that would mean tornado.
Yes.
I don't know why they phrased it that way.
Okay.
But it's possible that they're maybe going up and down, or they're just not staying on the ground consistently, but they're saying multiple ones.
Okay, yeah, if they're on the ground, that is a tornado. Funnel clouds, they gotta touch the ground for it to be a confirmed tornado. So regardless, it is a very dangerous storm. They are reporting at least funnel clouds, some that have touched down. So it is a tornado warned storm. This is pretty tight circulation where you see these greens and the reds together here. The bright colors, that's where the tornado would be if indeed there is one on the ground. ground pretty much right over Central City. Again, the Linn County Fair is going on. They are evacuating the fairgrounds as we speak. That was the last word we got just a couple minutes ago. But this is a very dangerous storm. You need to be taking cover now if you are in the path. Like Rebecca said, they are sounding the sirens all throughout Linn County, although this storm is in the northern part of the county. The Cedar Rapids area, we are safe, but you get up to around Central City, as you can see here, back to the northeast around Prairieburg. You are in the path of this very strong storm, which could be putting down a tornado. Again, here's our new velocity scan. Not as tight, but still you can see the rotation now has passed over Central City and just to the east. So if it was producing a tornado, it is going to be right in this area just to the east of Central City, but it is directly heading towards Prairieburg and will be there within the next several minutes. Yeah,
Prairieburg around 6:45, Stone City around 6:50, Anamosa 6:55, Monticello, Langworthy 7:05. So definitely some times that you want to pay attention. Those cities, Prairieburg, you're going to be next in line here. But Central City, if you are in Central City, near Central City, you do want to take cover, get to your safe place, and this is likely a dangerous storm. We have had confirmation now of a tornado.
All right, and we do have Zimdar in the Road Warrior, I believe. Is he up that way?
No, I am not, Brandon.
Okay.
I'm actually in the Walker area.
Okay.
You can hear me.
Yep, I can hear you.
And I am looking to go east here. I'm actually coming at this storm from the wrong end of things, so I cannot see any detail as to whether or not we do have a tornado. But again, I am on Highway 150 and the Road Warrior camera. If you do have that up, it's kind of pointed off to the southeast. I'm looking to make a move to the east here as soon as I can, and hopefully maybe get you a little better perspective on the storm, Brandon.
Okay, are you, I can see your wipers on. How's the rain? Is it coming down pretty good, or is it pretty light right now?
We've been kind of in a lull of things right now, and really, I think I'm about to turn east here onto maybe not. Okay, here, I think I'm going to be turning east on D62 if I can here. We'll see what this road looks like here. No, that's gravel. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to keep going south here, but yeah, I'm starting to get into some heavier rain at this time here. This is all stuff that's obviously on the back end of the storm, and again, I really cannot see much of anything right now. I'm coming actually right by the towers that are on Highway 150.
Okay. All right. Well, drive safe. We can see you're getting into some of the heavier rains now, and we'll keep up with you here over the next several minutes once you get up to around that area. But again, we do have a tornado warning in effect for northern Linn County, also Delaware and Jones County. This is until about 7:15, and we're looking at the velocity right now. This is what the radar is picking up, the wind field in the thunderstorm, and you can see evident rotation here. The green is the colors that are going to the radar, and the reds are going away from the radar. And you can see it's kind of making this circular motion right here. So this is where the couplet would be, where if the confirmed tornado was on the ground, it would be just to the east of Central City and heading northeast towards the Prairieburg area. So if you live in Prairieburg, around there, you have friends, family around that location, you want to tell them you want to take cover. This is a very dangerous storm going to be impacting your area over the next several minutes.
There were also some reports of some debris observed in Central City, and they're saying Prairieburg fire spotters report funnel clouds heading toward Prairieburg.
Okay, we did have, they said earlier there was some funnel clouds, and then they said the funnel clouds touching the ground. If they do touch the ground, then that is a tornado. Funnel clouds, not a tornado. It has to touch the ground for it to be a tornado. So we got kind of conflicting reports on that. But what we're seeing here on the velocities, this is a pretty tight rotation. So this thunderstorm rotating pretty tight and pretty good actually right now as it continues to pull away from Central City. They did evacuate the Linn County Fairgrounds not too long ago as the storm was approaching. And we're going to toss to Scott right now, who's going to give us more information about the fair.
Yeah, Brandon, I just got off the phone with folks at the Linn County Fair in Central City, and it's very frantic there right now because they know that there's a tornado warning and they're experiencing severe weather right now as we speak. All they would tell me at this point is it's a very fluid situation. They're in an emergency situation right now. They are taking shelter and evacuating the fairgrounds just as quickly as they possibly can. But the first priority right there at the Linn County Fairgrounds right now is to make sure sure everyone is safe. So they're urging everyone to seek shelter, and they're doing as many evacuations as they possibly can. That's all we know at this point, and we will stay in contact with the Linn County Fair. But right now, it is an emergency situation at the Linn County Fairgrounds in Central City. We'll send it back to you, Brandon.
All right, thank you for that update, Scott. If there is, okay.
They're saying there is confirmed near Prairieburg large tornado on the ground.
Okay.
Is what the Weather Service is saying. Entering Prairieburg at this time. And if you are in Prairieburg, you want to be taking cover.
Very fluid situation right now. There is a report of a large tornado on the ground heading towards the Prairieburg area, and we're going to kind of go in here on the velocity fields, and this is how we can indicate the rotation of the storm. And where you see the bright yellows, or the bright reds, and kind of I guess it would be kind of an orangish yellow here with the greens, this is where the rotation would be, and it is a pretty tight rotation. The brighter colors are evident of that, and this is moving right into the Prairieburg area, so you need to be in a safe place. Like right now, the storm is moving into your town. Again, the circulation is right here, and if there's any good news as far as the fairgrounds are concerned, the worst of the storm, at least the rotation is off to the north and east of Central City, but it is still a pretty dangerous storm, and the dangerous part right here now is getting into Prairieburg. That's where we are seeing a confirmed tornado on the ground with the last report that we did just get in.
Brandon, if you can switch over to correlation coefficient.
Okay, yep.
This is a product that we typically use when we can try and see something that's not meteorological. And we're seeing these blues here just to the southwest of Prairieburg. That's indicating that there's likely debris.
Yes, this is a correlation coefficient, and we can use this to see if the tornado is picking up anything, if there is any particles in the air or any debris, and this is certainly evident of that when we see these kind of blues and purples with this product that we use. So this is evident of at least some debris. It could be some dirt, it could be anything else that the tornado would be hitting in its path, but we are seeing here on this correlation coefficient product the blues here, which is evident of some debris that is in the air that the radar here is picking up. So we do have confirmation of a tornado on the ground heading towards the Prairieburg area. I'm going to go back here to the velocities. Prairieburg area. And you can see right now, here's the rotation, which is just getting over Prairieburg right now. So this is a very dangerous storm. A tornado has been confirmed on the ground, and it is likely entering Prairieburg and moving to the northeast. We have a tornado warning for Linn County, northern Linn County. I understand, though, they may be sounding the sirens throughout the county, but the Cedar Rapids area is certainly safe right now from this storm, as it is moving to the northeast here through northeastern Linn County into Jones County and also Delaware County. But this is where the tornado would be. This is the strongest rotation, which is right over Prairieburg, and I'll kind of move this a little bit back so you can see where it is headed next. Continues to move to the northeast. It may go a little bit south of Hopkinton and certainly to the north of Monticello as the storm continues to track to the northeast with its current path. So it likely will go between Hopkinton and Monticello, but we'll certainly watch this here over the next few minutes. But you can tell here, at least we can, with the velocity fields here, tight rotation. Tornado has been confirmed on the ground around Prairieburg.
And we have a tornado they're saying is north of Springville at this time. And I know you can't see all the cities on there. If we want to switch over to our other Max box, okay. Max 1.
We're gonna go to Jackie Schmid right now. I understand is on the phone, and you have confirmation of this tornado. Is that right, Jackie?
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago, I pulled over. I was heading north on Highway 13, heading home. I'm in Central City. I pulled over right at County Home Road because it looked like there was rotation, and it looks like it's pulling up now. I'm heading north now, but it was on the ground for about probably 5 minutes.
Okay, and I assume you were a safe distance away. What direction were you traveling again?
I was heading north on Highway 13.
Okay, and you did see the confirmation. You did see the tornado on the ground.
Off in the distance, it appeared to be on the ground, yeah.
Okay, and we do have confirmation, as you said. We are indicating the rotation around Prairieburg. And can you see the tornado now, or has it lifted, or is it kind of out of your area right now?
I can still see rotation. It looks like it's pretty far off to the east
Okay.
from Central City, or at least from Highway 13.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Jackie. Thanks for calling in and letting us know what you saw. A confirmation of a tornado there from Jackie as she confirmed a tornado on the ground. We did get other spotters that did confirm the tornado, but you can see the rotation now has passed over Prairieburg, and it's still a pretty tight rotation. This will continue to move to the north and east, and it looks like it will graze maybe the southern part of Hopkinton, between Hopkinton and Monticello here, probably within the next 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, and we have seen the Weather Service just saying that there have been reports of debris, a large tornado with debris reported in Prairieburg just about 7 minutes ago.
Okay, we're going to now go to the correlation coefficient. Again, this is something that we can see if a tornado is on the ground, if it is picking up debris, the radar would pick that up. And we are seeing that now with these blues right around the Prairieburg area. We are picking up at least some debris that is in the air. What that debris is, we are not sure of. But with the tornado on the ground, it is picking up something in the air. And that's what this product is showing us as it continues to move over Prairieburg and to the northeast.
Is Nick back there in the booth?
Yes.
I just sent him a picture. If he could get that up for us. This is our intern Garrett. His friend Ryan got this photo. And is that near? That was looking toward Prairieburg.
Okay.
And when he gets a moment, I just emailed that to him.
Okay, yeah, it'll take a minute or two, but yeah, we'll definitely get that up and see what he saw. But we go to the velocities. Again, we are seeing some pretty tight rotation in the cell. The storm, very powerful storm, very dangerous storm. A confirmed tornado is on the ground. We did talk to Jackie, a viewer here a few minutes ago. She saw the tornado on the ground in the distance, so we do have confirmation. And the rotation is just to the north and east of Prairieburg right now, and it is continuing to move to the northeast. Right around Hopkinton. It should get between Hopkinton and Monticello here in about the next 20, maybe 30 minutes. But it is a dangerous storm. This tornado warning is in effect for Lynn County as well as Jones and Delaware County until about 7:15.
And if we want to switch over to Max 1 here, we can kind of get down to the ground level. So here's Prairieburg, up to the northeast of Prairieburg. Here's Smith Road. Now there's rotations a little bit further to the north. Nickel Plate Road and Upper Boulder Road heading towards Lynn Jones Road. So getting pretty close to the county border here. And that's going to get close to Castle Grove, just to the northwest of Castle Grove, and continuing to move to the north and east. So that's kind of where the tightest circulation is, northeast of Prairieburg. And continuing to move to the north, as Brandon mentioned, Hopkinton, you're in line. If you're near County Road X31 into Jones and Delaware counties there, and also Sand Springs, likely going to stay just to the north of Monticello.
Okay, we do have the picture up here, and there it is. You can see in the background, looks like there's some kind of practice or maybe a ball game going on, and they're definitely looking at the tornado from, it appears to be a pretty safe distance. They're off in the background, but you can see the lowering there from the wall cloud, and it looks like the tornado is, I mean, it is definitely touching the ground. So that was, I believe, around the Prairieburg?
It was looking toward Prairieburg, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and we have Scott Zimdar, who's in the Road Warrior, so we're going to go out to Zimdar right now. And where is your location?
Right now, Brandon, we are on County D62 in northern Lynn County. We're east of Walker. We're making play over to the remote area right now. If you have this is probably the most interesting thing that I am looking at. It looks like we've got a little bit of a lowering here, but I really can't take too much. I have not had the chance to check radar. Brandon, are you seeing anything kind of east of Walker?
It seems right now the best rotation seems to be around Prairieburg, just to the east, northeast of Prairieburg right now. I'm going to back out the radar here, and it looks like Central City down toward Alburnette's pretty good, around Coggin, maybe a little bit up around the Ryan area, but this storm right now looks to be just to the north and east of Prairieburg. Still some pretty good rotation here that we are seeing in the storm. And if we go back to to box number two, rather. Here we go. We can see the rotation just to the northeast of Prairieburg, and this continues to move to the northeast and should get between Hopkinton and Monticello here within about the next 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, and we haven't had any other reports. The Weather Service is saying a tornado in extreme northeastern Lynn County, crossing into northwestern Jones County and south central Delaware County. So we're just continuing to track it. We haven't had any other new reports of where exactly the tornado is or if it is still on the ground, but it is incredibly possible with the signature that we're getting.
It absolutely is. You can see it right here just to the northeast of Prairieburg. We did talk to a viewer, Jackie, not too long ago, and here is her picture that she just sent us, and you can see there the tornado on the ground in the distance. She certainly pulled over to take a look at that, and I want to thank her for sending in this photo. But you can see the tornado there off in the distance. She was around the Prairieburg area not too long ago, maybe about 10 or 15 minutes when we did talk to her. So there it is. You can see looks like a pretty large tornado on the ground. Yes.
We have gotten reports that the tornado went through Prairieburg. There are houses reported down, grain bins down, garages down, semis tipped over. That is per the Prairieburg Fire Department.
Okay, so very fluid situation around Prairieburg. We do have houses, grain silos, semis have been turned over, so we did get some debris. It is being confirmed in the Prairieburg area as this tornado did go through that town, and this warning continues for Lynn County, Delaware, and Jones until about 7:15. The rotation now has left the Prairieburg area, is now to the northeast, and we just got a new scan in, and where you can see these greens and reds, the bright colors, this is the rotation. So we haven't got anything, at least the last few minutes, if this tornado is still on the ground, but as we're looking here at the velocities, it would be a sure bet that this thing is probably still on the ground as it continues to track to the northeast. And I don't think are we getting any new reports, at least at...
No, the Weather Service is still saying that it's observed, but the last that we heard was that it was moving to the northeast of Prairieburg, and there was damage that was being done there, and you can see there that there's the debris.
Yeah, this is a correlation coefficient. This is a product that we can monitor. If the tornado is kicking up anything in the air, this product would pick it up, and certainly when we see the blues, that is evident that there is something going on, whether it's dust, maybe it could be corn stalks, or if it hits, unfortunately, if it hits a house or a barn or something and debris gets thrown in the air, this product is going to pick it up, and it's a little bit lagged right now, but you can see here, this was as of around 6:51, so this was probably about, 8-9 minutes ago. There is definitely some debris showing up on this product right around the Prairieburg, over the Prairieburg area, and we did get confirmation some houses have been damaged, some grain silos, as well as semis, which have been overturned. And now we're going to go back to Scott, and I take it you have information on some power outages.
Not as many as you would think with all the severe weather moving through northern Lynn County right now, Brandon. We've got about 340 Alliant Energy customers without power. That doesn't count any of the co-ops in northern Lynn County, but 340 Alliant customers are without power. Part of that is probably due to a number of down power lines and power poles south of Prairieburg. Just to give you some perspective, Prairieburg is located northeast of Central City, where the Lynn County Fair is happening right now. So we've got a number of trees down and power lines and power poles down in that area. And again, I got off the phone with the Lynn County Fair in Central City about 10-15 minutes ago. They were telling me it's a very fluid situation now. They are in an emergency situation. They're urging everyone to take cover at the Lynn County Fairgrounds. Obviously, they'd like to get everybody out of the fairgrounds, but you have to handle those evacuations as the situation allows. So right now, they're urging everybody at the Lynn County Fairgrounds to take cover and doing emergency evacuations as the situation warrants. So that's the latest from here. We'll keep monitoring the situation. In the meantime, we're going to throw it back to you in the Weather Center. All
right. Thank you very much for that, Scott. And I understand we do have a new tornado warning.
Yeah, they issued this further to the northeast, so they're just showing it more on a path toward Dubuque County now, but still includes Jones and Delaware, It's Dubuque, Delaware, Jones counties that are in this new warning. That goes until 7:45.
All right, and you can see the areas that are highlighted here in the warning. Hopkinton, you are in the middle of this warning. Worthington, also Cascade within this warning. So this tornadic storm does continue to push off to the northeast, and we did have a confirmed large tornado on the ground. We did pick up rotation right over the Prairieburg area within about the last, I'd say about 15 minutes, and a product that we look at was picking up some debris, and we did get confirmation of some houses that were damaged, some grain silos heavily damaged as well, some semis tipped over around the Prairieburg area. We do have a crew, I guess, that is going up to that area. So hopefully we can find out some more information on the ground around the Prairieburg area as that tornado did pretty much pass at least right over the town or very close to it, at least on our rotation here on the velocities that we are looking at right now. It did go pretty much right over Prairieburg. So once we get a crew up there, we'll be able to find out exactly where this thing did track through. But you can see the rotation still pretty tight. A nice little couplet here just to the northeast of Prairieburg and continuing to head to the northeast. And again, Hopkinton is in this warning, Worthington and Cascade. And if we can go back to the other max and if we can put maybe a fan on this warning and get some of the other towns that might be in the path of this dangerous storm. But it is a tornado warning storm in effect until about 7:15, and it's for multiple counties.
Yes, and it's heading off to the north and east. And here are some times of arrival.
Okay, Sand Springs, Worthington, Farley, Epworth, and Piasta here between now and about 8 o'clock. So if you live in any of these towns, you want to get to your safe place, you want to get into a sturdy shelter. The storm rather, is heading towards your towns here in about the next hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour, and it is a dangerous storm. It did put down a confirmed tornado around the Prairieburg area. We are sending a crew up there. We did get confirmation of some things heavily damaged, some houses, grain silos, and semis tipped over. But we can see the rotation now. It's pretty broad, not really as tight as it was. Right around Castle Grove is where it appears to be right now as the storm continues to push off to the northeast. And we did, again, like I said, have a confirmed tornado. We've seen pictures. We've talked to viewers who did witness that confirmed tornado on the ground. But the rotation, as you can see here, would be right around the Castle Grove area as the storm continues to push to the northeast.
Yeah, the Weather Service is saying confirmed tornado near Hopkinton and north of Anamosa. And they're saying possibly still could be large and dangerous. So we haven't seen much in the way of confirmation on exact location, but the circulation definitely getting close to the city of Hopkinton and just to the north of Monticello.
Yeah, it does look like here another area of rotation, like you mentioned, around Hopkinton, just to the south and west, right here. This is kind of the rotation that we're kind of looking at right now. Again, it's not overly tight, but it certainly does look like a thunderstorm is rotating around the Hopkinton area, and it will be moving into Hopkinton here just to the south within the next several minutes. But if we can go back, or if we can put you can kind of show us the radar here across the area, Rebecca, once you get a chance. We'll kind of show everybody where these storms are.
Well, let's point out this first here, that there's a lot of purple. Well, there was. It kind of shrunk a bit, but there could be some incredibly heavy rain, so it's possible that if this tornado's on the ground, it might be rain-wrapped, and there could be some also large hail occurring with this storm.
Yeah, you can see the purples and the pinks. That was evident of some large hail, also torrential rainfall, and these storms, which have really just exploded within probably the last 30 to 45 minutes, maybe about an hour ago. And you can see they're tracking to the northeast, and some more are back to the west, just getting into Linn County, into Benton County, right around Vinton. You're probably getting some heavy rain, maybe even a little bit of hail and some gusty winds. So these continue to track to the north and east, and will move likely through the Cedar Rapids area. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning warning Benton, Buchanan, and Lynn County until 7:45. They just warned this storm here, and we're going to put a fan on so you can see some of the towns that are in effect or that it will be heading towards. Atkins, Center Point, Walker between now and 7:21. Also Marion, you're in the pass, Central City, Ryan, Cass, and Castle Grove. So the tornadic storm that did go through parts of northern Lynn County, this severe thunderstorm likely will go into some of that similar path here over the next hour or so. But you can see the towns that are in the path of this severe thunderstorm. Again, torrential rain is likely putting down some hail, and the hail core, the core of the storm looks to be right over Vinton right now, where you see these the purples and pinks. So some pretty good size hail falling right around Vinton, just to the east of Vinton, right around between Urbana and Shellsburg. So this is a pretty dangerous storm as well. Putting down some heavy rains, gusty winds, 60 to certainly 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible within that storm as it will track again towards Walker and Center Point through northern Lynn County. But our tornadic storm is right now between Hopkinton and Monticello. We did have a confirmed tornado on the ground around the Prairieburg area. We did get some confirmation of some damage, houses, some grain silos, also some semis overturned with that storm, and it continues to move to the north and to the east around Hopkinton, between Hopkinton and Monticello.
And Brandon, if we want to go back over to Max 2 here, and first off, let's take a look. We have a couple areas of rotation. It looks like near just to the north and west of Monticello here, a little bit going on, and hard to tell, not quite as tight as it was before.
But right in here.
And then up to the north a little bit towards Hopkinton. That's kind of been our main source, but that's also looking a little bit more broad, I suppose. The Weather Service also watching near Coggin, which is a little bit further back to the west, and just to the south of Ryan there, a little bit of uptick in rotation there as well. They have not warned this part of the storm, but just a few areas that we're watching since we have had some confirmation already.
Yeah, we are picking up some quite a few areas of rotation. This one, we don't have a tornado warning on it quite yet, but we'll have to see. The Weather Service probably waiting for a few more scans to see what happens with this rotation, but this is the velocity fields that we're looking at. The green is going to the radar, and the radar is in the Quad Cities, so the wind here is going this way, and the red is going away, so you can kind of see the rotation right here. Again, not super tight. You want to see something really tight. You want to see these colors really kind of compact. That would be evident of some really strong rotation and a possible tornado, but this is kind of a little bit broad, a little bit loose. But certainly this thunderstorm looks to be rotating right now just to the north of Coggin, maybe a little bit up to the north, just to the west of Ryan, certainly. And then we'll go back here to the east. And then just to the, it looks like to the west of Monticello. This was, I believe, the tornado warned part of the storm that did produce the tornado. We don't have confirmation if there is still one on the ground, but one did go either through or really close to Prairieburg not too long ago. And then there is another area of rotation that we're watching right around the Hopkinton area. You can see not a tight couplet. We just did get a new radar scan in here, but pretty loose there. But still, this thunderstorm is most likely rotating, but where you see these pinks and these reds in here, that is evident of some very strong winds. So this thunderstorm, if it is not producing a tornado, which it's hard to tell right now as we look at this velocity, it did produce one earlier near Prairieburg, but certainly if it's not, you got to worry about these very strong winds, 60, maybe 70-mile-per-hour wind gust just to the north and west of Monticello.
And we still have, just to recap, if we want to go over to Max 1 so we can kind of see these warnings a little better, we do have the one warning that does include it's kind of just the corner of Lynn County, northeastern corner. So most of Lynn County is in the clear of this, but until 7:15 for Delaware and Jones. They may expire this one, but then this still includes portions of Delaware, Dubuque, and Jones counties, the northern half of Delaware and or Jones County rather, and then the southeastern part of Delaware and Dubuque County. That goes until 7:45.
And I believe they just maybe put a new severe thunderstorm warning just to the northeast here.
Yes.
Around Epworth. It looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning did just come down right around Holy Cross, it looks like, into Dubuque County. Looks like Dubuque might be in this warning. Here
Correct.
we go. Severe thunderstorm warning in Delaware and Dubuque County. That goes until 7:30 here. So Dubuque, you are in this warning.
That's
believe
for 60-mile-an-hour winds
Okay.
and some quarter-sized hail.
So quarter-size hail, the winds, again, are the main thing today. These are very powerful thunderstorms, 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds, and you can't forget the torrential rainfall. It was a very humid day, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. So these thunderstorms, once a few of them start exploding, and then we got quite a few more, and that's what we're seeing right now. It was pretty quiet for much of the day here, at least in the corridor. A lot of activity to the north and back to the south and west. But then we got some of these thunderstorms to bubble up and explode here across the corridor into most of eastern Iowa. And then you see here's one, and then some more down to the south, right around, it looks like, getting into Cedar County, and then maybe northern Johnson County, and then back to the west into Benton County. But we do have this severe thunderstorm warning for Benton County, also into northeastern Lynn County, as this storm continues to move to the north and east. 60 to 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. Certainly quarter-size hail, if not bigger, in this storm as it continues to push to the north and the east. And then we have our tornadic storm right here just getting into, it looks like, southeastern Delaware County and crossing into Dubuque County and extreme northern Jones County. We did have a confirmed tornado on the ground near Prairieburg with this storm. That was maybe about 25 minutes ago. We did get confirmation of some damage around that area, some houses, grain silos, semis overturned, and we did see some of that evidence on radar. We were able to pick up a debris ball from that tornado not too long ago, but we're not sure if it has since then lifted or it is still on the ground. If we go back to
Brandon,
yeah,
hey.
okay.
Yeah, we can go over to Max 2,
Okay.
actually, and look at the rotation. We do want to note the one tornado warning will be expiring. I don't know if they're going to extend it at all, the one that includes Lynn, Jones, and Delaware County, but there's another one that includes Delaware, Dubuque, and Jones counties. And that one they are now saying radar indicated, so they're not saying that there is still a tornado on the ground, but they're still continuing this tornado warning until 7:45.
Okay, and the rotation is right here just to the north and west of Monticello. And I understand we got a Rich Burrows, is that right? You're on the phone, and you were witness to this tornado earlier, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, where did you see this tornado? What was your location when you saw this?
We were just turning out of the Lynn County Fairgrounds,
Okay.
and on Highway 13, and it came across the field, and we just got caught by the end of it, and there was like branches and all kinds of debris hit our car, and we managed to drive out of it.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, yeah, you guys...
It actually picked our car up off the road.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow, okay.
And then it headed out towards, more towards where it's headed now.
Okay. Can you tell us what the situation was like there at the fairgrounds? Were they evacuating you and that's why you left, or were you just leaving anyway?
We were leaving because the rain was starting to get really hard.
Okay.
And the winds were starting to pick up.
Okay.
And when we left, there were people going everywhere trying to find shelter. So, and we thought it would be better just to leave.
Okay, yeah, well, you definitely made the right call, and we're glad you get out of there just in the nick of time. It sounds like it was a pretty close call if that thing kind of picked up your car and you got into some debris. So thank goodness you guys are okay, and thank you for calling in and letting us know your experience and what you saw today.
All right, well, thank you very much. It was very frightening.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm definitely sure. But yeah, you guys are safe. You guys certainly made the call to leave, and you left at the right time. But we did just see a photo there not too long ago of that large tornado that was on the ground. Again, it did just spin up just around the central city area toward Prairieburg, and right now we are getting some pretty good evidence here in our velocity fields of, again, some pretty strong to tight rotation here just to the north of Monticello with this storm.
Yeah, and just want to pass along, the tornado warning has been expired for Lynn County, so there is no longer Lynn County you are in the clear for right now, but Delaware and Dubuque County, the tornado warning continues, as well as Jones County until 7:45.
All right, and this picture was taken near Viola, and you can see there a pretty large tornado. It looks like, it does look like it is kind of touching the ground, kind of hard to see, maybe a little rain wrapped in there, but you can certainly see a funnel if it is not all the way to the ground. But it looks like a pretty strong, large tornado that was taken earlier today, not too long ago, near Viola. And that tornado did move through the Prairieburg area earlier as well. We did get some confirmation of some damage, some houses damaged, some grain silos, some semis overturned as well. We now go to the velocity field, and you can see the rotation again, pretty broad here, just to the north and west, northeast of Coggin. This is what we were watching a little bit ago, and it looks like here's the storm, the tornado-warned storm that produced the tornado. Now you can see, again, really tight rotation, not too far from Monticello, just to the north of Monticello and southeast of Hopkinton right now.
Yeah, and really that's where the tightest of the rotation is looking like it is, and if there were to be a tornado, that's where it would be. However, we do not have any confirmation of that. This is getting pretty close to Dubuque County. If it's not already there, it's getting pretty close to Cascade. You do want to take cover. It might just be to the northwest of Cascade there, but some strong winds nonetheless if there is not a tornado.
If we want to go back to the other box, we can give you a kind of more of a down to the road eye view of kind of zoom in a little bit closer to where this storm is. You can see the center of it just to the north and west of Cascade, right along, 136. You can see the rotation is right here. This is if we do have a tornado, or here it is right here just around Sand Springs. Certainly some rotation up back this way as well, but the tighter rotation we're seeing is right around Sand Spring, just to the south and east of Hopkinton. We'll put a fan on this and get some of the counties, or the cities that are in the path. It looks like Epworth, right around 812. You will be in the path of this very dangerous storm. Tornado warning still is in effect for, what is it, Delaware County now?
Delaware, Dubuque, and Jones County. Okay. So this is southeastern Delaware, Dubuque County, and then northern Jones, which they may allow to expire, but for now that's how they're keeping it. Okay, so
yeah, definitely Delaware and Dubuque County still in this warning, but we are seeing some rotation here just to the south and east of Worthington, and some more back to the south and west of there around the Sand Springs area. So a very dangerous storm. It did produce a tornado earlier around Prairieburg, so we don't know if anything's confirmed on the ground right now or if that tornado did lift, but if we can, by just looking at the velocities here, and again, you can see here right around Central City, you can, these darker colors, that's where the tornado was a little bit earlier, right around Prairieburg, and it keeps moving to the north and to the east. So it looks like the rotation now is kind of more even east of that.
Yeah, it looked like the storm cycled a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm just going back in time where you could actually see the tighter rotation. So Central City, that's when we first got confirmation. So we were seeing those blues, the deep blues. That's a pretty good indication. And right around Prairieburg here, that's where we had confirmation of it hitting the town. And we have seen it kind of ease up a bit in terms of rotation, but it's cycling a bit and perhaps still has a potential to produce just to the southeast of Hopkinton. And this is just to the east of Sand Springs, Highway 38, 310th Avenue, getting into Dubuque County now. Areas like Cascade, Worthington, Epworth, Piasta. You do want to be keeping an eye on this storm and definitely staying indoors.
And if we go back to the other box, we'll show you even the velocities here. We can see them a little bit better. Again, the rotation would be kind of right in here. We're looking at where you see these pinks and these lighter reds. That is indicative of some very strong winds. We can't really rule out 60 to maybe 70 mile per hour wind gust with this storm, and certainly some heavy rainfall is possible within this storm as well. Torrential rain has already fallen through parts of eastern Iowa, mainly north of Highway 20. Some areas saw 1 to 2, maybe even locally higher amounts from the storms this morning. And we're getting repeated storms, some training of these storms. So we do even have a flash flood warning out for Clayton and Fayette County until 8:45. But if you do encounter some flooded roads, certainly do not go through them. But this likely is producing some torrential rain, some hail, gusty winds, and maybe even a little bit of rotation here just to the southeast of Hopkinton. So we're now going to go to some pictures. This is some damage at the at the Lynn County Fairgrounds from our very own Kevin Barry. There's a huge tree down. You can see the picture there at the fairgrounds. Good news there. He's told all the people are safe. They did evacuate the fairgrounds earlier, and you can see the wet ground there. Big tent knocked over at the fairgrounds. Whoever's still there is locking things down, expecting another storm cell soon. We did show you that on radar not too long ago. Thunderstorms getting into western Lynn County that will be tracking through northern Lynn County and likely through this area over the next several minutes. But hopefully everybody got out of that tent, and from what we're understanding, everybody did. They did evacuate the fairgrounds today, you know, the first day of the Lynn County Fair. So unfortunate that this had to happen on this day. What was that?
They'll remember this one.
Yeah, I certainly could remember this day. But we're glad everybody got out of there okay. We are getting reports of no injuries or anything, so that is certainly some good news there. But,
yeah, and we got some, we had some damage reports from Prairieburg also, and we didn't see any reports of injuries so far, so that is definitely good news.
And we do have a crew that is going up to the Prairieburg area from what I understand, so hopefully we'll get more information as far as the scale of damage that is being reported. Houses damaged, maybe a few grain silos damaged, as well as some semis tipped over, so hopefully we'll get a better handle on that a little bit later. But this is the storm that we're watching, a tornadic storm for Delaware County and also getting into Dubuque County.
Would you like some water?
Yeah, I'll take a drink of water, absolutely.
All right.
And so you can see the rotation right here as this continues to move off to the north and to the east, Delaware and Dubuque County under that warning until...
Hey, Brandon,
yes.
We've had a report, tornado between Cascade and Hopkinton on Blue Goose Road.
Between Hopkinton and Cascade, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go now here and...
So just, yeah, looks like just down there. Possibly a little further southwest of Cascade.
Yeah, this looks like the area if there was the tornado on the... You said it was confirmed?
That's what,
okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay, this would be the area. We are getting reports again of a confirmed tornado with this cell, which would be just to the west of Cascade. And it looks like you are in the southern part of this warning as the storm continues to track to the northeast. It did put down a tornado earlier, a confirmed one. We've been showing you photos. We talked to a couple viewers. So this storm, certainly a dangerous one. We're seeing some more broader rotation here just to the south and east of Worthington. So it looks like in the storm, we're seeing different areas of rotation, but the strongest area is, again, just to the south and west of Cascade, north and east of Monticello, as this storm, very dangerous storm, a tornadic storm that continues to move to the northeast.
And when we look back at it, it looked like this was the same energy, the same storm that went through Prairieburg, and it just kind of cycled, and it kind of looked like perhaps the tornado lifted, and this may be a part of the same storm here that has kind of just picked up in intensity once again. But it does not look as strong as the Prairieburg signature. No,
it certainly does not. The Prairieburg signature was really tight, and that's what we want to see if it's going to put down a confirmed tornado. If a tornado is going to reach the ground, we want to see something very tight. We want to see these greens and these reds really compact and tight together, and this is something we're not really seeing here. The colors really aren't that bright, but it is. I mean, if it's going to put down a tornado, which we do have a confirmed one, it's going to be right there just to the south and west of Cascade. And if we can go back to the other box, we'll kind of zoom in a little bit on this cell and kind of give you an idea of where it's at. And you can see, if we can go back to the other max box, there we go, thank you. Right around here, this is where the tornado would be. Again, you can see Cascade is right here. This is highway, what is this, 136?
Yep. 136 to the east, yes.
Okay, so pretty much between Monticello and Cascade, 136 is right here. Here's the rotation. Again, this is confirmed tornado from what we've been hearing. The reports coming in. This is the same storm that put down a tornado around Prairieburg. We think it may have lifted, but then the storm cycled again. And you can see here, this is what we're looking at. This is our velocities. The green is going to the radar site. The red is going away, and you can see the rotation kind of right in there. We're going to zoom down and get into a little bit closer here.
I'm trying to find, they said Blue Goose Road. I cannot find it on here. There's Goose Hill Road. I'm guessing right around here, but that's a little tighter rotation there with that latest scan.
You can see Cascade right here, and the velocities are back to the south and to the west. So if you live in Cascade, you are in the path of this storm. So you want to take cover, get into a sturdy building, a basement if you have one. That is certainly the place to be as this storm continues to track right to your area. And again, the storm likely putting down a tornado. We did get confirmation of a tornado on the ground with this storm. It did produce a tornado near Prairieburg earlier. Torrential rain, can't rule that out. A lot of mugginess in the air today. A lot of moisture, a lot of Gulf moisture made its way into Iowa today. Dew points were in the 60s and 70s. They were in the 40s and 50s earlier this week, and the weekend actually kind of refreshing, but things have certainly changed. A more active pattern we are just getting into right now. So the moisture in the air supplying the energy needed for these showers and storms, which once we started seeing a few of them start to pop and go, then we're starting to see a whole lot more that are developing here in
They did
eastern
issue a
Iowa.
new tornado warning, and this is the same storm here that is for, this is Dubuque and Jones County until 8:15. It's a northeastern sliver of Jones County, and really the rotation starting to get out of Jones and get closer to Cascade here. This is going to go until 8:15, and it also includes Jackson and Joe Davies counties.
All right, so here we go. New warning just been issued. This is for Dubuque, Jackson, and Jones County and Joe Davies County in west central or northwest Illinois. This is until 8:15. This new warning has just been issued, and it's for this storm, which is just moving not too far from Cascade right now, just to looks like to the north and a little bit to the west, where we did see the strongest rotation with this storm. And we do have a report from Cascade, and we're going to go now to our very own Karen Fuller, who has a report for us. Karen?
Brandon, yes, I just spoke with a clerk in Cascade at one of the gas stations there, and he tells me that they are in the process of seeking shelter. The power is out at that particular gas station in Cascade and in and around that area of Dubuque County. So as you mentioned, that storm is apparently moving on in, and they're making precautions for that. I just hung up with this clerk who says the skies are very dark. It's eerie. It doesn't look like it normally does at this hour. But again, they are having to take shelter in the freezers and any other storage area where they can be safe. But again, they are having to do that in Cascade, where you say the storm is headed that way. So Dubuque County does need to be on alert for that. Brandon.
All right, thank you very much for that, Karen. So there you go, confirmation of a tornado power out in Cascade. This is where the storm currently is, currently just to the north and to the west of Cascade. That was where we are seeing the rotation, but the tornado warning is in effect until 8:15. This is for Dubuque, Jackson, and Jones County as the storm is moving into Dubuque County. Again, this is until 8:15, so a very dangerous storm. If you live in any of these counties, you should be taking cover right now as the storm is moving into your area. And if we can go back to the other max box, we'll show you the rotation, and this is what Karen was saying, right to the west of Cascade, where you're seeing these darker greens, not as tight, but certainly an area of broad rotation here. But if there was the tornado, which we do have confirmation, so it is going to be right in this area just to the west of Cascade.
And Brandon, sirens are sounding throughout Dubuque County. This warning does include the city of Dubuque, and this still have a little bit of time here before, if it does continue, it may stay just to the south of Dubuque, the city of Dubuque, but the warning does include the city of Dubuque. So the sirens are sounding for all of Dubuque County right now.
All right, and you can see Cascade, the rotation just to the west. This is moving to the northeast, and it looks like on its current path, it will move to the south of Dubuque, but of course, these things can change, so we'll continue to watch that. But sirens likely sounding across Dubuque County, including Dubuque. So you still got time if you are in Dubuque to take shelter from the storm, as this rotation, again, as we zoom in here, is just to the west of Cascade, where you're seeing these greens and these reds. Again, not a super tight couplet like we would typically see if we're looking for a pretty strong tornado. But again, a tornado has been confirmed. We have power outages across Cascade. People are seeking shelter in that community. So if you live anywhere near Cascade or up to the northeast, you should be doing the same as well.
Yeah, we haven't had any other reports come through, but just to recap here, we had a tornado confirmed go through Prairieburg, and that did lead to some damage there. We had homes, grain bins damaged, and also semis blown over. So we have had several tornadoes actually reported throughout the state today. So something to definitely take seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. We did talk to Rich Burrows earlier. He was leaving the Lynn County Fairgrounds, which were evacuated. I guess it was a pretty fluid situation there as the storm was approaching Central City. We did see a tree blown down. We saw one of the big tents was down as well as this powerful storm did move through. And Rich said he got out of there just in the nick of time. The wind actually kind of picked up his car. He said a little bit. He drove through some tree branches. So thank goodness he was okay. But it was a pretty tense situation for everyone there earlier in northern Lynn County around Central City. We did get a confirmed tornado around Prairieburg. That was probably within about maybe 45 minutes to an hour ago. And since then, this tornadic storm continues to track to the northeast. And we have a confirmation of another tornado on the ground around Cascade. And again, this couplet not as tight as what we would want to see for a large tornado to be on the ground, but you can certainly pick up some rotation. At least that's what we're seeing here with these greens and these reds here in this and the velocity. This is what the radar is picking up in the wind field here.
Yeah, and Brandon, if you actually switch over to correlation coefficient,
Okay.
which once again we've used this product a couple times, this picks up anything that's not meteorological, so not the winds, not a tornado, actually can pick up debris, and we're seeing a debris signature. This is near just to the northeast of Cascade now, south of Piasta, south of Epworth, north of Bernard.
Okay, yeah, so this is a product we use if there is a tornado on the ground and it kicks up, maybe it's dust or corn stalks, or if it has actual debris from something it has hit, it will show up. And when we see the blues, that's really not a good sign. That means, you know, something's going on, something is in the air, and that's a better indication that we might have a confirmed tornado on the ground. And we are seeing these blues just to the south of Piasta and to the north of Bernard. So again, it looks like if there is a confirmed tornado on the ground, we would have one maybe in this area as well, as it does. Okay, and we're going to go right now to Matt Hamill, who currently is in Shellsburg right now. Matt, what are you seeing?
Hey, Brandon, actually, we are right outside of Prairieburg, which you have been talking about. As you can see from our shot here, Lynn County Sheriff's Office has the entire town sealed off right now. They're telling anyone who does not have business within Prairieburg that they are not allowed to enter. They won't be allowed to go in. The deputy that you see here that we have been talking with says it is a mess. Quote, just a mess in the city. Inside, he said wires are down, trees are down. We have heard reports of both houses and grain bins in the area that have been damaged. As you guys have been talking about, there was a confirmed tornado that went through this area about 45 minutes to an hour ago. Right now, they're telling everyone, stay away, give emergency vehicles. We have seen fire trucks. We have seen state patrol, as well as you can see the Lynn County Sheriff's Department here trying to help out. We have not heard any word that anyone has been injured among the damage or amid the damage that has taken place here in Prairieburg. We know you have other reports that you are trying to get to right now of tornadoes still on the ground. Brandon, we're going to let you go for now. We will keep you updated as we get more information and hopefully as we get into Prairieburg.
All right, thank you, Matt, for that report. So there you have it. The town of Prairieburg sealed off, not allowing anyone into that town, as there was confirmation of a tornado that did go through. We did pick that up here on our radar and on our velocities and our correlation coefficient, which we can tell if there is something in the air, if the tornado is picking up something, this would pick it up on that product. And it was pretty evident that something was going on, and we are getting reports, like Matt said, grain bins that have been heavily damaged, some houses as well. So no word on if there are any injuries, but of course we'll keep you up to date on that as we do head through the night. But again, we are seeing some rotation right around the Cascade area, just to the north of Cascade. This rotation would be kind of right in here. Again, it's not super tight, but that's what we want to see. If there is a confirmed large tornado on the ground, we want these colors to be really tight. But certainly this thunderstorm is rotating. It is a dangerous thunderstorm just to the north of Cascade.
And also, if you go back toward Monticello a bit, it looks like there's a little bit of rotation there as well, but we haven't had any confirmation over that way. But some areas of rotation not quite as evident or as strong as what we saw earlier when we had the confirmed tornado, though.
All right, and you can see here again, just looks like just to the north of Monticello, we might get into some of the darker greens and some of the reds here. So this would be rotation, maybe a little bit just to the north of Monticello. So this whole thunderstorm is a pretty big thunderstorm. We were seeing maybe a little bit up around the Worthington area, perhaps as well. If you are in Worthington or around there, you are in this tornado warning, which is in effect until about 8:45. And again, here is 8:15. I'm sorry. And here is Cascade. Looking at again some more broader rotation, not certainly tight like we want to see, but likely it is putting down some hail. You can't rule out the torrential rainfall. A lot of water in the atmosphere, and these thunderstorms, it's just gonna rain buckets here for a short amount of time. You're going to see 1, maybe 2 inches of rainfall. So some localized flooding is certainly possible as well.
Yeah, so the other issue here on top of that is the fact that if there is a tornado, it may be very hard to see because of how much rain is going on. It could be rain wrapped. So we don't have any confirmation of exactly where anything is right now, but we did have a report of observed tornado near Cascade just about 5 minutes ago, so possible it is still on the ground.
We did get reports of some power outages as well. In Cascade. Karen Fuller talked to somebody who worked at one of the marts there in town, at one of the stores, and they were taking cover in a freezer. That was the safest place for them to be. So power outages out, the wind was picking up, so we did get a confirmation of a tornado around the Cascade area. Not sure if one is still on the ground. It's hard to tell as we're looking at the velocities, but the rotation is right around Cascade, as you can see here. We did talk to our very own Matt Hamill not too long ago. A confirmed tornado did go through Prairieburg. That town is being sealed off right now as there appears to be damage in and around the town. So once we get more word on that situation, we'll be sure to pass that along to you. But now we can go back to around Monticello, and it looks like we're getting a little bit in some rotation here as well. Maybe a little bit tighter here just to the north and east of Monticello. So
yeah, it's looking kind of weird.
Yeah. It's throwing.
Possibly.
It's throwing out
funky looking.
A few different colors.
Can you
here.
actually switch around to the reflectivity and see if we can get a little better of an idea? Looks like a little bit of inflow, possibly.
Probably right in through here, just to the north of Monticello. So
it has another cell coming in against it, so that might be influencing that. But Prairieburg. They're getting into some more rain now too, so luckily no tornadic activity in that respect.
Prairieburg back towards Central City, where you see these darker colors. It's evident of some very heavy rainfall. So a confirmed tornado did track through Prairieburg about 45 minutes to an hour ago. Now this storm is going through that area with some torrential rain, and our very own Matt Hamill was out there not too long ago. And if we even go back to the west, severe thunderstorm warning currently remains right around Center Point. It looks like this warning is for Lynn County as well as Benton County.
Correct. And we can actually switch over to Max 1, and we can kind of recap some of these too, because we have the 2 tornado warnings. So we have tornado warning for Dubuque and Jones counties. That goes until 8:15, and another one that is for Delaware and Dubuque, and that goes until 7:45. So that one will be expired in the next 5 minutes if they feel comfortable to do so. We have one warning that is just to the south of Anamosa here, including Cedar and Jones counties. That's for some large hail, could be close to golf ball in size, and also winds up to 60 miles an hour. So you're south of Anamosa into Olin, Clarence, Oxford Junction, a pretty big hail core here, close to Wyoming, and moving to the northeast. So that's one severe thunderstorm warning. That goes until 8:15.
And then we got some more back to the west, right around Center Point. Again, this is tracking to the north and the east. Looks like Central City might be under the gun once again with these storms. Benton, Buchanan, and Lynn County. This is until 7:45, so for about another 5 minutes or so, this warning is still in effect, and we'll find out if they expire it or if they do continue. But you can see quite a bit of lightning, some torrential rain, maybe even some hail coming around, falling down near Center Point in northern Lynn County, back towards Central City and Prairieburg. So they've seen a lot of rainfall here in a very short amount of time. time. I could see easily 1, maybe 2 inches of rain here in about the last hour, hour and a half, maybe even sooner than that, as these storms have continued to track to the northeast. And here is another.
Yeah, this is the one that's in over here by Olin, and this is into portions of Jones, Cedar counties, the southern half of Jones, northern Cedar. A little bit of rotation showing up here south of Olin.
Yep, right here.
So the Weather Service hasn't said anything about this storm, but something to watch. And nonetheless, some strong winds possible there. Just still a little bit of perhaps mid-level rotation, but not tornado warned currently. Something we'll have to keep an eye on.
All right, we got more pictures we want to show you. This is from our very own Kevin Berry at the Linn County Fairgrounds. This ground was bone dry, he says, when he took shelter, and he's standing now. It's no longer bone dry. You can see there the rain, a little bit of ponding right there at the fairgrounds. And again, they've seen torrential rain within about the last. He's been there probably about an hour, and you can see the rain has fallen, pretty quickly. So some localized flooding is certainly possible. And then we're going to go back to this storm, the tornado warned storm, right around Cascade is where there was a confirmed tornado just to the west and north of Cascade. But you can see the warning does extend and is including the Dubuque metro area. We did get confirmed that the sirens were sounding.
Correct.
In Dubuque County, including Dubuque. So this tornado warned storm is now getting into Dubuque County. If you can see the rotation or some more rotation, it looks like it's back to the southwest of Cascade around Monticello. It certainly looks like some rotation is there. So the storm continues to cycle as it continues to push off to the north and to the east.
Yeah, and we still do have tornado watch in effect for much of the area too until 10 o'clock. So there was a tornado watch issued today. The dynamics certainly there for some 4 tornadoes that have been produced across the state. Close to about a dozen have been confirmed today across the entire state of Iowa. And yeah, if we want to switch back over to box 2, looks like a little broader rotation now, but still rotation nonetheless. It looks like it kind of cycled back to the west though.
Yeah, back here to the west, we did see the rotation around Cascade not too long ago, but it looks like now the rotation, like you said, has shifted a little bit further to the west and to the south around Monticello. Again, this really not tight rotation, and we can tell it's tight if a confirmed tornado is on the ground. It's a large tornado. These colors would be more compact. You'd see really some bright reds and greens together. Not really seeing that here. That doesn't mean it's any less of a dangerous storm, but we are certainly seeing some rotation here just to the north of Monticello. But like Rebecca said, we do have a tornado watch that's in effect for pretty much all of eastern Iowa until 10 o'clock. The parameters, again, were kind of in place today for some strong thunderstorms, including some tornadoes. Our dew points, the moisture, you felt that today. If you went outside, it was very humid. Our dew points were in the 60s and 70s. Even though we didn't get all that warm, we were only in the upper 70s to low 80s. But the thing is the wind shear that was in place. We had wind shear up aloft as you go vertically through the atmosphere, 50, 60, maybe even 70 knots. So, you're going to get some very towering, strong thunderstorms that will produce some large hail and certainly some embedded rotation, which we are seeing in some of these thunderstorms. But you can see here the town of Prairieburg is sealed off. The county sheriff there is blocking the road, I'm guessing, into Prairieburg.
Yeah, they said it's just a mess over there. Haven't had any reports of injuries, but grain bins down, semis knocked over, houses damaged. So definitely just don't want to be driving through there. Let them do the work they need to do.
Yeah, you want to stay away from that area. Let the authorities into that town to monitor the situation, to see if any people need any help. Again, we didn't get any confirmation of any injuries, but we got our very own Matt Hamill on the scene, so he will bring us the latest once he can find out some more information. But we did have a confirmed tornado go through Prairieburg, and it did cause some damage. Houses were reported damaged. Some grain bins, silos, semis were overturned. So as soon as we find out more information, we'll of course bring that to you. But right now we do still have this tornado warning in effect for Delaware and Dubuque County, northern Jones County, maybe out of the woods a little bit.
Yeah, they've just, all right, so they've expired the tornado warning for Delaware and Jones counties, which were included in another one with Dubuque. But Dubuque is still going here. This one's till 8:15, and this is just near Cascade. Bernard, you're included in this. Epworth. We also have the Dubuque Regional Airport, Fillmore, Farley, just to name a couple of towns here. So that warning is still going. Jones and Delaware counties, you are no longer included in a tornado warning.
Okay, and you can see here the thunderstorms, though, they stretch from southwestern Wisconsin up to the north, but you can see the tornadic storm. Dubuque County, you are under the gun. If you live in Dubuque, you want to take cover. This storm is coming your way. It has put down confirmation of at least a couple tornadoes from what we've heard. Damage through Prairieburg, another confirmed tornado around the Cascade area not too long ago. But you can see these storms just blowing up here. All right, we're going to now go to another picture. This is from Vinton earlier. This is some hailstones. You can see some pretty good size hail there. I'd say the bigger one there, maybe around golf ball size, but some pretty big hail there. And these thunderstorms, the wind shear in the atmosphere today was supportive of really strong updrafts. So you get these water droplets that, the ice nuclei form in the clouds, and these strong updrafts sustain these hailstones until the hail gets too big and then it falls to the ground. And we did see thunderstorm tops around 50,000 feet. That is a pretty impressive strong thunderstorm capable of producing hail this size, if not bigger. So there are some hailstones. Hail continues to fall in some of the stronger storms, but you can see a loop here. This goes about the last 3 hours.
Brandon, we have a new tornado warning for Jones County.
Okay.
And this goes until 8:30.
Okay.
And this is just radar indicated. They're saying rotation increasing south of Olin. That's what we were looking at a bit earlier here. And they're saying just moving to the east. So this is going to be Jones County primarily here, extreme northern Cedar County, near Oxford Junction, Wyoming, Olin. Very heavy rain, likely some hail ongoing there. And if we switch over to Max 2, Brandon actually has a good image there of the rotation, the velocity.
Yeah, you can see very bright greens and some bright reds here. This is some pretty decent rotation that we're seeing, but the winds are very powerful here. I mean, anytime you see these brighter colors, that's evident of some really strong wind, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, some hail definitely possible within the storm. And it is a tornado warning now. And it covers what counties again? You said Jones and
this is Jones
Cedar?
County.
Okay.
It's very incredibly northern Cedar County.
Okay. So Jones County, if you live anywhere around Olin, it looks like the rotation is just to the southeast of you, but Oxford Junction certainly in the path of the storm. Also Wyoming back towards Monmouth. The storm continues to push off to the north and to the east. So this is the rotation that we're seeing. Pretty big area of rotation, and here comes the warning right now. You can see they just put that out. So the rotation continues to move to the north and east. Again, nothing confirmed on the ground, but it is evident, at least what we're seeing here, some radar indicated rotation. So certainly a tornado is possible with this storm, but we are seeing the rotation here on our velocity fields. Again, the radar looking up into the storm, into the atmosphere to pick out the rotation. So this is what it's picking up, and we want to see these bright colors. Maybe a little bit more tight if we were to see a confirmed tornado, but certainly some pretty good rotation is going on with this storm, fully capable of putting down a tornado.
And if we actually can go back over to Max 1 here, this storm did have a severe thunderstorm warning on it earlier, and this hail product's a little bit behind, so the hail's likely a little bit further to the east now. But just to give you an indication, this is showing a 3-inch in diameter hail. Oops, so there we go. 3 inches in diameter in the highest amount. This is likely overblown a bit, but if there were to be a tornado, it could be rain wrapped. There could be a lot of hail too surrounding it.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized hail core there, just evident of how powerful these thunderstorms are, and they really flared up in probably about 45 minutes to maybe an hour. They went from nothing to these thunderstorm tops around 40 to 50,000 feet in the air, fully capable of supporting hail 3 inches in diameter. That certainly is going to do some damage. And you can see the hail core again. This is lagging a little bit, so this was around I guess we don't have a time specific on this, but
probably about
10, 15
maybe
minutes
10
ago?
minutes ago, yeah.
Okay.
Because we can see where the hail core is now. It's closer
Yep.
to Oxford Junction, so these purples, some pretty heavy rain and some large hail possible.
Yeah, certainly where you see the pinks, this is the core of this storm. And you did see the hail that it put down around the Olin area and likely is continuing to put down hail just to the north and west of Oxford Junction, just to the south of Wyoming, continuing to push to the north and to the east. So this is a very dangerous storm. We are seeing some rotation within this storm as well. So it's capable of putting down a tornado, but we haven't got anything confirmed yet. But this is a very fluid, tense situation. We're certainly watching this. And if you live Oxford Junction, Wyoming, or anywhere to the northeast. Rebecca, can you put a fan on this one?
Yes.
So we can get we'll get a few towns, communities here in the path of this storm to let you know where this thing is certainly headed. And here you go, right around Baldwin at 8:12, Buckhorn at 8:21, Maquoketa, finally Fulton and Andrew around 8:46. So if you live in any of these communities, any of these or in the surrounding areas, you want to take cover. This is a very dangerous storm. It is a tornadic storm. Again, nothing confirmed, but certainly we are picking up some rotation. And here is the warning.
We have had a report now of a funnel cloud 4 miles southeast of Olin around 7:50, so just about 2 minutes ago.
All right, we did get a confirmation of a funnel cloud again.
So not a tornado.
Not a tornado. It's got to be, in order for it to be a tornado, it has to touch the ground. So, but we did get a report of the funnel cloud right around Olin, and you can see, I believe, yep, there's where
There's
Olin
Olin.
is.
And County Road E53 X64, that's where it looks like some stronger rotation, starting to pick up a little bit, but still not incredibly tight.
Yep, we're looking at right here. So this would be where the funnel cloud was reported, just to the southeast of Olin. So the rotation is right here. Again, a very dangerous storm. Not a confirmed tornado, but certainly could put down one. We've already had the confirmation, like I said, of the funnel cloud. So that storm, again, continues to move off to the north and to the east. And we do have a tornado warning in effect for these counties until about, what, 8:30?
It is 8:30, correct,
Okay,
yes.
until 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did want to mention, that was a better scan there. Can we go over to Max 2?
Yep, we'll go to the our other product here, radar scope, which is what we use. This gives us kind of a better indication of the wind fields, of the velocity, and you can see
just a little bit brighter there.
Yeah, a little bit brighter here, the kind of the pinks and the reds and the bright greens. So the rotation kind of evident right in here. This is where the funnel cloud again was reported, just to the southeast of Olin, getting into the Oxford Junction area. So again, if you're in Oxford Junction, you need to be taking shelter now. If you live around Oxford Junction, you should be seeking shelter too, because the storm, very dangerous storm, funnel cloud being reported, no confirmation of a tornado, certainly is putting down some hail. We just showed you the hail core. Our radar picked up 3-inch diameter hailstones. Again, that might be a little bit overblown, but certainly this thunderstorm, I'm guessing, is around 45 to maybe 50,000 feet in the air. So the updraft's really strong, which could support some very large hail, which can do some damage. Some strong winds, which we're seeing here in these bright colors. We could see gusts around 60, maybe 50 or 70 miles per hour. But it is also rotating, fully capable of putting down a tornado just around the Oxford Junction area, just to the southeast of Olin.
Yeah, southeast of Olin and south of Hale, and that's kind of where we're watching now. This is extreme southern Jones County, and moving to the east. And I also did look at the product there with the echo tops over on Max 1. 52,000 feet. That is a big thunderstorm. That's big for Iowa.
Yeah.
And still, that's a very strong storm, and likely producing some hail, and just a very strong thunderstorm. I did also want to mention our other storm. We had a confirmed tornado near Cascade. The Weather Service is no longer saying it is confirmed. So right now, we don't have any confirmation of a tornado in either of our warned storms, but still some indications that we could have a tornado being produced by some of these storms.
Yeah, so a very fluid situation across eastern Iowa. We do have a couple tornado warnings. We have a tornado watch that was issued around 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. That is in effect until 10 p.m. So the possibility of tornadoes was evident today here across much of the state of Iowa. You got down into south central Iowa. There were multiple reports of tornadoes. I think we've had, already at least a dozen?
Close to a dozen, yeah,
close
across
to a dozen,
the state.
Across the entire state, including about 3 or 4 here in eastern Iowa. But you can see these cloud tops here, 52,000 feet. That is just an impressive storm. You don't get that a lot around here in Iowa. This is more likely in the southern plains, Oklahoma, Kansas, down into the panhandle, Texas, where a little bit more of that Gulf moisture resides. But so these thunderstorms, again, exploding here over the last couple hours. And this one just to the south of Cascade, well, now it jumped on me. It's over to the east now, again, around 46,000. So it's a pretty impressive storm, fully capable of putting down some large hailstones, which can do some damage, some torrential rain where you're seeing these brighter colors. That's where the heaviest rains are falling, right around Bernard, back into Dubuque County, just to the south of Dubuque, and right around Cascade. You can see here extreme northern Jones County. Again, these storms putting down some torrential rains, hail, and certainly fully capable of producing tornadoes. We have 2 tornado warned storms. We did get a report of a tornado around Prairieburg. Actually kind of went through Prairieburg. We have our very own Matt Hamill on the scene. They're not letting anybody into that town. They are reporting some damage. So we'll get to him here when we get the latest on that. But you can see here, a tornado warning continues for Dubuque County. And we got another tornado warning down around Jones County as well.
Correct. And the Weather Service saying Oxford Junction, what they're watching now. If you're in Oxford Junction, you don't want to take cover. You want to be indoors, looking like a bit of more of an uptick in the velocity here. Member of Lost Nation Fire, which is just to the west, or just to the east here, seeing possible descending funnel cloud near Oxford Junction. That has just come through. So we do not have confirmation, but they're watching this closely. So we may see a tornado developing here shortly.
Yeah, and we've been telling you about this storm the last several minutes, and we've been telling you if you live in Oxford Junction, you need to take shelter. So your time is now. You need to get somewhere safe and sturdy. This storm is going to be moving right over the top of you here very, very shortly. And we did get reports of some funnel clouds. It has produced multiple funnel clouds, one not too long ago when the storm was just southeast of Olin. And right now it's just moving into Oxford Junction, just a little bit to your southwest. But where you're seeing these bright colors right here over County Road was this X64. This is where the rotation is. So if it is going to put down a tornado, this is where likely it is going to be, right into Oxford Junction. So if you are in Oxford Junction, anywhere near there, you certainly need to take cover. Strong winds, rotation, fully capable of putting down a tornado, torrential rains and hail, all possible with this strong storm. And where you see these pinks here, again, that's evident of some really, really strong winds and maybe even a little bit of rotation here. It looks kind of messy right now, but certainly this thunderstorm is rotating right around Oxford Junction.
Yeah, and if you go back over to Max 2, we have this other velocity product that actually does a better job. And you can see kind of these bright colors. It does look kind of messy and drawn out, but where we're seeing those bright colors clashing, the possibility is there that we're seeing that tight rotation and possibly where the funnel cloud is.
I'd say probably right in this area, just to the southwest of Oxford Junction, and these bright pinks are just getting into the city now. So you're likely experiencing some very strong winds. But again, the rotation looks to be right in here. So again, it's tracking to the northeast, likely will be over Oxford Junction within the next few minutes. So you need to take cover now. If you are in Oxford Junction, you know somebody in Oxford Junction, give them a call, a text, say, get to a sturdy shelter, a basement preferably, but you are in line of the storm, and it continues to track to the north and to the east into Jones County. Eventually we'll get into Jackson County, but Monmouth, certainly Wyoming in this tornado warned storm.
And just one thing we've been talking about, Jones County is included in this outage that the Weather Service is having. So
yes.
If you know people who use weather radios, typically they're not getting these warnings because the weather radios are down right now as the Weather Service moves their office. Their radar is up and working, but if people who aren't using another form of communication to get their warnings, do make sure that they're aware of the situation.
Yeah, a lot of people rely on the weather radios. They're certainly a good thing, but just kind of a bad timing here with the weather service in the Quad Cities, as those are offline, and it looks like at least through tomorrow, maybe on Friday, they'll be back. But the radar is up, and from what I understand, fully functional. That's kind of how we're bringing you some of these products right now. But we are looking at the velocity field. This is the wind. This is the radar measuring the wind field in this thunderstorm. And the greens, where you see the green, that is wind that is going to the radar site. The reds are going away. So the radar is kind of down here to the southeast. So you're looking at winds coming here and then winds going this way. And then if you kind of visualize it, you can kind of see the rotation. And it's a pretty big area of rotation around Oxford Junction. So we are seeing this thunderstorm rotating. And also some very powerful winds here, where you're seeing these bright colors, like the greens and the pinks. That's indicative of probably at least 60, maybe even 70 mile per hour or more. So it's certainly a very powerful thunderstorm. We did look at the echo tops, how tall these thunderstorms are in the atmosphere, and we're talking 52,000 feet. So that is just a mammoth thunderstorm capable of putting down some very large hail, the strong winds, the torrential rain, and we are seeing enough wind shear here where, especially maybe in the lower levels, where these thunderstorms are rotating, and we're picking that up here on this velocity field right over Oxford Junction.
And Brandon, we once again have had some reports of funnel clouds near Oxford Junction. Haven't had a report of it touching down.
Okay.
But we also do have a new severe thunderstorm warning I did want to mention just to the north of that storm. If we can switch back over to Max 1. This is for Lynn and Jones County. Does not include Cedar Rapids. Does include Central City, Anamosa, Monticello. And we do have the potential for some pretty strong winds up to 60 miles an hour, and possibly also some quarter-sized hail with this storm.
All right, so yeah, severe thunderstorm warning, Jones and Lynn County. Again, this is northern Lynn County until 8:45, and the core of the storm, where you see these pinks right here moving right over the Cass area. So likely putting down very heavy rain, a lot of moisture in the atmosphere today. If you stepped outside and you thought, man, it is muggy, well, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of water in the air. So these thunderstorms, when they move over you, they're dumping all that water out, and some ponding, some locally flash flooding, certainly a possible where these thunderstorms continue to train and move over the same area, which we've seen over northern Lynn County here in the last hour or so. A lot of these repeated thunderstorms, and here is where the thunderstorm will be in the next several minutes. Monticello around 8:14, Scotch Grove, Temple Hill, Ozark, and finally Washington Mills around 8:54. So this thing continues to push to the east, and you can see already to the east, ongoing thunderstorms still continue. A few tornado warned storms still continue. So this area likely is seeing just torrential rains in the last couple hours. And that storm in northern Lynn County is continuing to move into Jones County as well. So just some heavy rain here.
And if we want to go back over to Max 2, the Weather Service saying that there's a tornado debris signature. If we can maybe get over the correlation coefficient. They're saying that that's enough evidence for them to believe that there's likely a tornado on the ground. Here, Oxford Junction, where we're seeing the blues near Lost Nation. It's a little muddied there, but perhaps some debris.
Yeah, this is a product we use, correlation coefficient. If there is a tornado on the ground, anything that it would pick up, whether it's dust, if it goes through a field, maybe it's corn stalks, if it's high enough in the air, this is what it will pick up. If there's any kind of debris that it picks up as well, whatever that debris is, these blues will show up, and we are seeing some blues right around Oxford Junction and between Oxford Junction and Lost Nation. So I guess this is what the Weather Service says warranted them to put out this warning. They are seeing these debris signatures here on this correlation coefficient product.
Yeah, and it'd be just near Oxford Junction where the concern is going to be, and it's looking a little more...
Looks more like a wind threat.
Yeah, like winds.
Maybe more like straight line winds. Not seeing very tight, compact rotation. Again, we're looking at right around to the west of Monmouth, all the way down to the south of Oxford Junction. You're looking at right here, and I guess if there would be any rotation it'd be just kind of right in here. But this to me looks more like a very strong potential damaging wind threat right here. As it continues to push to the northeast, and this is fully capable of putting down 60, 70, maybe even locally higher amounts as the storm continues to move to the northeast.
Yeah, and we also have just some heavy rain ongoing in this cell, and also some hail likely. So it might be hard if there is actually a tornado or a funnel cloud. That it could be difficult to actually see that.
And this is a hail product that we use as well. And again, the brighter colors would indicate, the larger the hailstone, and we're getting into the reds and the very dark reds and the maroons. So this is where the hail core is of the storm, and it's about to move into Monmouth. And Monmouth, you're probably looking at a little bit smaller hail right now, but this core is going to be moving directly over you. So expect some large hail with this storm, and we can't, stress enough
We
the
do
rain.
have a train spotter that reported a tornado touchdown near Oxford Junction at 8 p.m., so about 6 minutes ago.
Okay, so we do have a confirmation of a tornado around Oxford Junction. Did they say where exactly?
No,
just
not
near around there?
precisely.
Okay.
Near Oxford Junction.
Okay.
If we go back to the velocities,
We'll go back. Yeah.
it's a bit hard to see here, but we were seeing that debris signature on the correlation coefficient, so it's possible. They're not saying if it's still on the ground, but they did report a touchdown.
All right, we'll go back to the correlation coefficient here, and we'll see what we can get. Again, this is kind of lagging behind a little bit by a few minutes, but with the confirmation of the tornado near Oxford Junction, what I'm seeing here, this blue, that would lead me to believe this is where the tornado would have been or would be on the ground, is right to the west and southwest there of Oxford Junction. Again, when we see the blues and in here in this product, that indicates maybe a tornado on the ground throwing up some either dust, debris, maybe it's corn stalks or something of that nature. So we're kind of seeing this little enclosed blue area right here near Oxford Junction, which would lead me to believe that's where the tornado was confirmed. And we're going to go now to Karen Fuller, who's joining us now, going to bring us more information on power outages.
That's right, Brandon. I've been looking on the websites of both Alliant and Mid-American Energy, and right now, according to Alliant, there are about 9,800 outages from Lynn County all the way to northeast Iowa. So nearly 10,000 people without power right now for Alliant. Mid-American is only reporting about 2,300. So all told, about 12,000 people are without power from this storm area, ranging all the way from, say, here in Cedar Rapids up into the northeastern part of the state, which you've been talking about. I just checked in on Cascade a moment ago, and they tell me that the skies are still looking dark, but the rain has passed and the power is back on there. They were the ones taking shelter in a freezer. The power's back on in Cascade, so that's some good news for them. But overall, there's about 12,000 people without power at this hour. I'll be checking back and let you know further updates coming up.
And
right. Okay.
Karen just mentioned that Cascade, they have expired the tornado warning for Dubuque and Jones County. That was northern Jones County. So that now they're allowing that to expire. So this one in Jones County, Oxford Junction, still in effect until 8:30.
All right, we're now going to go to a picture here. This is a picture of a funnel cloud. This was taken near the fairgrounds earlier by our very own Kevin Barry. Lynn County fairgoers tell me they say this funnel cloud forming while they were running for cover, and you can see that there in the distance. Can't really tell if it's an actual tornado. It has to touch the ground for it to be a tornado, but you can certainly see the lowering right there, and what an ominous sight that is. Imagine at the fairgrounds today, seeing that thing when you're out there, getting something to eat, or you're out there with your family. So they did evacuate the fairgrounds. From what we've heard, everything seemed to turn out to be okay. So that's certainly some good news there. That storm, as you did see, there was a confirmation of a tornado that did go through Prairieburg. They're not letting anybody into that town now. That town is sealed off. We did get reports of some damage around and in Prairieburg, of some grain silos down, also some houses heavily damaged, and some semis certainly overturned. So we have our very own Matt Hamill on the scene, and as soon as he gets more information, we'll bring that to you. But we're now...
I know They might have turned my mic off. Sorry, guys. I hit it. Prairieburg, we got a report of a mobile home was destroyed. Luckily, no one was home when it was hit. That was from a viewer out in Prairieburg. So thank you for that information. But that's some very good news, even though, mobile homes, one of those structures that unfortunately get the brunt of these storms when they come through. It was destroyed in the town of Prairieburg where a tornado did go through. No one was home when the home was hit, though.
That's certainly good news. Nobody was home. Certainly you don't want to hear of anybody's home, whether it's a mobile home or anything getting destroyed or damaged. So, but certainly nobody was home at the time of that. But we now are looking at this tornado warning, and I believe this is the only tornado warning that we have out right now.
Correct.
This is for Jones County and that's it, really, in our viewing area.
Yeah, it extends into Jackson County, but doesn't. That's for us. It's just Jones County until 8:30.
Okay, until 8:30 for.
And this is confirmed also.
Okay, we did have a confirmed tornado on the ground near Oxford Junction. This was maybe about 10-15 minutes ago, but we're not seeing a whole lot of rotation now within this storm. This looks to be more like a damaging wind threat here. We're looking at the storm kind of right where you see the greens here and the reds. So the rotation pretty big here, at least on the velocities, but this looks more like some very strong winds, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, or even more certainly cannot be ruled out with this storm. But this is a tornadic storm. Did produce a tornado. Not sure if anything's confirmed on the ground now. We did have a confirmation around Oxford Junction not too long ago as this storm, the cell, continues to move to the northeast into Jackson County here within the next several minutes. But this tornado warning again, Jones, Jackson County until 8:30.
Yeah, now it looks like it's actually starting to move out of Jones County here. Oxford Junction, the county line right there. So once the storm moves out of Jones County, looks like we're going to be in the clear. Lost Nation is into Jackson County there. So we'll have to see if the Weather Service does change this warning at all, but still kind of on the extreme southeastern side of Jones County is where the rotation could still exist.
And if we go back to our other Max machine, Rebecca, if you want to show us kind of where the storms are across the area.
Yeah, we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. Okay. Here, if we're back, there we go. We do have the tornado warning for Jones County, and then we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. One of them, Lynn County and into northern Jones County. It's pretty much ended in Lynn County, and in fact, Matt Hamill tweeted a photo that the sky is starting to clear a bit in Prairieburg, but still could be some really heavy rain and also some hail in portions of northern Jones County near Monticello, Scotch Grove. That's kind of where the strongest part of that storm is. And then we have still up in Dubuque. They have allowed this tornado warning to expire. It'll go away in about 2 minutes. They still have a severe thunderstorm warning, though. Could still have some strong winds. But it looks like the storm kind of slid to the south. So it looks like most of it's out of Dubuque County and mostly into Jackson County. So Dubuque County starting to see some clearing there, and then also into Black Hawk, Tama County here. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning, and let's see, that goes until 8:30. Okay. And could have some strong winds there in excess of 60 miles an hour, quarter-sized hail. This is north of Traer, north of Tama, west of LaPorte City, south of Waterloo with that cell. And we can just kind of zoom out here. We also have that flash flood warning up in Clayton and Fayette counties, and that goes until I think 8:45. Yep. And otherwise, let's see, we're starting to see kind of some ends to what's been going on here. So that's some good news. We're getting a little bit of back building here, back to the west, right around I-35. We have a cold front that is coming in, so we could see maybe additional storms here throughout the evening. But these storms here again to the south of Waterloo into Black Hawk County, these continue to race to the east, and it looks like it's going to go through the area that has already seen torrential rains over the last couple hours. So some flooding is certainly likely. We did see a picture from Kevin Berry out at the fairgrounds earlier. When he got there, it was dry. He showed us a picture. It was some pretty good ponding going on. So the heavy rains will continue to move
east into this area here over the next couple hours. As you can see, these storms will continue to track again into Benton County and then eventually into northern Lynn County once again. So I may be getting a little bit of a break right now as these storms have developed and moved off to the east. So we're getting a little bit of a break, but these are not too far off to the west. And then there was even a few more back towards I-35, as you can see right here. Again, this is all ahead of a cold front that continues to move through, and we do expect as the evening continues to go on, the severe weather threat will certainly diminish. The tornado threat will certainly diminish as well. It kind of already has. But as this front continues to push to the south and the east, these storms will continue to move in that direction as well. And I'm thinking by around 10, 11 o'clock, at least by midnight, most of eastern Iowa should be free and clear of most of these storms. But it looks like the severe weather threat certainly ending here over the next few minutes, or over the next hour or two at least.
Yeah, and the good news about some of these storms up to the south of Waterloo, hopefully going to run into some more stable air, so they'll continue to weaken a bit, but we could see some kind of repeated rainfall and a little bit of ponding possibly on the roads. But otherwise, let's see here. That was an old report. Sorry, I'm just checking in on some of the reports here. But yeah, we are going to start to see this wane a bit as we head into the rest of the night tonight. But still, tornado warning in effect for Jones County. I'm going to imagine they're going to let us out of this one here. And the storm has moved out of Jones.
Okay.
So it is no longer in Jones County.
It is now, into Jackson County. So now, at least our viewing area is free of any tornado warnings. Of course, we'll keep an eye on this situation. We do have a few severe thunderstorm warnings that are ongoing. We did show you those. And of course, if there are any more warnings throughout the evening, we will be sure to bring those to you. But right now, this tornado warning is into Jackson County. The tornadic threat has ended in Jones County and throughout the CBS 2 Fox 28 viewing area. And we'll bring you more warnings if they shall arise throughout the rest of the evening. And right now, we're going to go back to regular programming.